There's someone in your life right now who wants to see you fail. They smile to your face, but they're plotting your downfall behind your back. And the worst part? You probably trust them. What if I told you there are 5 specific signs that reveal when someone means you harm? Signs so accurate that once you learn them, you'll never be fooled again. In the next 25 minutes, I'm going to teach you how to spot dangerous people before they can hurt you. And sign number 5 is the most important one because it reveals the most dangerous type of person, the one who hides their hatred so well that you never see them coming. Most people ignore these signs because they want to believe the best in others. But ignoring red flags is how you get hurt, betrayed, and destroyed by people you thought cared about you. So if you want to protect yourself and never be blindsided again, stay with me until the end. Because by the time this video is over, you'll have a superpower that most people don't have, the ability to see through fake people and recognize your real enemies. Let's begin. Before we dive into the 5 signs, let me explain something important about human nature. Not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. Not everyone who says they care about you actually does. Some people are masters at pretending. They wear masks. They say the right words. They play the part perfectly. But behind that mask, they're jealous, resentful, and they secretly want you to suffer. These people are more dangerous than obvious enemies. If someone openly dislikes you, you know to protect yourself around them. But when someone pretends to be your friend while secretly plotting against you, you're vulnerable. You trust them. You share your dreams with them. You let your guard down. And that's exactly when they strike. The Bible warns about this. It says, "Beware of wolves in sheep's clothing." Ancient wisdom teaches us that your worst enemy is often the one closest to you. Every culture has sayings about fake friends and hidden enemies because this has been a human problem since the beginning of time. Here's what you need to understand. People who mean you harm show signs. They can't hide their true nature completely. No matter how good they are at pretending, the truth leaks out through their behavior, their energy, and their words. You just need to know what to look for. Today, I'm going to give you 5 specific signs that someone means you harm. These aren't guesses or theories. These are proven patterns that dangerous people display. Once you know these signs, you'll be able to identify threats before they can hurt you. Some of these signs are obvious once you know them. Others are subtle. But all 5 together create a profile of someone who is actively working against you, whether they're doing it consciously or unconsciously. Pay close attention to each sign. Think about the people in your life as I describe them. You might be shocked to realize that someone you trusted is actually showing all 5 signs. That's painful, but it's also necessary. You can't protect yourself from threats you don't recognize. Let's start with sign number 1. Sign number 1, they're overly interested in your business. The first sign someone means you harm is when they're overly interested in your personal business, especially your successes, plans, and weaknesses. This person asks a lot of questions. They want to know everything about your life. Where you work. How much money you make. Who you're dating. What your plans are. What you're struggling with. They frame it as concern or friendship, but something feels off about their curiosity. Here's what's really happening. They're gathering information to use against you. They're studying your weaknesses so they know where to attack. They're learning about your plans so they can sabotage them or copy them. They're measuring your success so they can feel superior or figure out how to bring you down. Here are specific signs this is happening. They ask very detailed questions about your life, especially your finances, relationships, and future plans. They want to know who you know and what connections you have. They probe for information about your vulnerabilities, past traumas, or fears. They remember small details about your life in a way that feels excessive. When you share good news, they immediately ask follow-up questions that feel intrusive. They compare their life to yours constantly. They get annoyed or change the subject when you don't answer their questions. Real friends are interested in your life because they care about you. But their interest feels warm and supportive. When someone means you harm, their interest feels cold, calculating, and invasive. It's the difference between someone asking about your job because they genuinely want to celebrate with you versus someone asking because they're jealous and want to know what you have that they don't. This type of person is also selective about what they want to know. They're very interested in your successes and opportunities. But they're not actually interested in your feelings or your well-being unless it reveals something they can use. If you're struggling, they want details so they can feel better about themselves. If you're succeeding, they want details so they can figure out how to compete or sabotage. There's a spiritual component to this too. In many cultures, they teach that telling people your plans gives them power over those plans. Jealous people can spiritually block your blessings just by knowing about them. That's why wise people keep their plans private and only share with trusted individuals. When someone is fishing for information, they're often trying to get access to your energy so they can curse or block you. I knew a woman who shared her business idea with someone she thought was a friend. That friend asked a million questions: who were her suppliers, who were her target customers, what was her pricing strategy. The woman thought her friend was just interested and supportive. 6 months later, that friend launched the exact same business, using all the information she'd gathered. She'd been stealing the idea from the beginning. Pay attention to people who ask too many questions. Pay attention to people who want to know your business in detail. Ask yourself, why do they need to know this? What will they do with this information? If you can't think of a good reason, don't share. Trust your instincts when something feels off about someone's curiosity. But excessive curiosity is just the first sign. Sign number 2 reveals itself in how they react to your success. Sign number 2, they can't genuinely celebrate your wins. The second sign someone means you harm is when they can't genuinely celebrate your wins and successes. When something good happens to you, this person's reaction feels wrong. They might say congratulations, but their smile doesn't reach their eyes. They might give you a compliment, but it's wrapped in something negative. They might acknowledge your success, but immediately change the subject or talk about themselves. Real friends are genuinely happy when you win. They celebrate with you. They feel joy for your joy. But people who mean you harm can't do this. Your success triggers their jealousy, insecurity, and resentment. Even if they try to fake happiness, you can feel that it's not real. Here are specific signs this is happening. They give backhanded compliments like, "I'm surprised you pulled that off," or "That's great for you, I guess." They minimize your achievement by saying things like, "It's not that big of a deal," or "Lots of people do that." They immediately redirect attention to themselves by sharing their own achievement or struggles. They bring up your past failures or remind you of times you didn't succeed. They find something to criticize even in your moment of celebration. Their body language doesn't match their words. They might say they're happy but their face shows something else. They ghost you or become distant after you share good news. They compete with you by announcing their own success right after yours. This is one of the clearest signs of a dangerous person because genuine people can celebrate with you even when their own life is struggling. Secure people feel joy when good things happen to those they love. But insecure, jealous people see your win as their loss. They feel like your success makes them look bad. So instead of celebrating with you, they try to diminish it or steal focus. There's a famous saying, "Show me your friend's reaction to your success, and I'll show you your real friends." This is absolutely true. The people who can't be happy for you are not your friends. They're your competition at best and your enemies at worst. Many people ignore this sign because they want to believe the person cares about them. They rationalize the weird reaction. They tell themselves, maybe they're just having a bad day, or maybe they're stressed. But if this pattern repeats every time you have success, it's not a coincidence. That person resents your success and wishes you would fail. Some people who mean you harm will even try to sabotage you right after you achieve something. They'll create drama. They'll spread rumors. They'll do something to hurt you during your moment of joy. This is intentional. They can't stand to see you happy, so they try to ruin it. I know a man who got a major promotion at work. He told someone he thought was a close friend. Instead of celebrating, that friend immediately started pointing out all the challenges and problems the promotion would bring. Then he mentioned that he'd been offered a promotion too but turned it down because it wasn't worth it. The whole conversation was designed to minimize the achievement and make the man doubt his own success. That's not a friend. That's an enemy in disguise. Pay attention to how people react when good things happen to you. Their reaction tells you everything about their true intentions. If they can't celebrate with you, they don't belong in your life. But jealousy isn't the only sign. Sign number 3 shows up in how they talk about you to others. Sign number 3, they gossip about you or spread negativity. The third sign someone means you harm is when they gossip about you behind your back or spread negative information about your life to others. This person talks about you when you're not around. They share your private business with people who have no reason to know it. They tell your secrets. They exaggerate your problems. They put a negative spin on your situation. And you often don't find out until someone else tells you or you hear it indirectly. Here's why this is so dangerous. When someone gossips about you, they're destroying your reputation. They're turning other people against you. They're creating a negative narrative about who you are. And because you're not there to defend yourself, the lies and half-truths spread unchallenged. Here are specific signs this is happening. Other people know details about your life that you didn't share with them. Someone mentioned something about you that only this person could have told them. You hear rumors about yourself that have been twisted or exaggerated. People suddenly treat you differently after spending time with this person. The person asks you questions and then shares your answers with others without permission. They tell funny stories about you that actually make you look bad. They share your struggles or failures as entertainment or gossip. When confronted, they claim they were just venting or asking for advice about you. Real friends keep your business private. If they need to talk about a concern they have with you, they come to you directly. They don't broadcast your struggles to the world. They protect your reputation even when you're not around. But people who mean you harm use your life as entertainment. They gossip because it makes them feel important to have information. They gossip because it makes them feel superior to talk about your problems. They gossip because deep down, they want others to think badly of you. There's also a spiritual aspect to gossip. Words have power. When someone repeatedly speaks negatively about you, they're sending negative energy toward you. In many spiritual traditions, this is a form of cursing. They're using their words to try to damage your life, your reputation, and your blessings. This is why gossip is considered one of the worst sins in many religions. It's spiritual violence. Some people who mean you harm are very strategic about their gossip. They don't outright lie about you because that would be too obvious. Instead, they tell truth mixed with their negative interpretation. They might say, "I'm really concerned about Sarah. I heard she's having money problems and her relationship is falling apart. I'm just worried about her." To others, it sounds like concern. But what they've really done is spread information about your struggles and planted seeds of judgment. The most dangerous gossips are the ones who pretend to be your friend while destroying you behind your back. They smile to your face, hug you, tell you they love you. Then the moment you leave, they tear you apart to anyone who will listen. These people are snakes. And they're more common than you think. I knew a woman whose best friend was secretly telling everyone at their church that she was having an affair, struggling with addiction, and neglecting her children. None of it was true. But the friend presented it as prayer requests, so it seemed like she was being a good Christian. By the time the woman found out, her reputation in the community was destroyed. The gossip had spread so far that she eventually had to leave that church. Her best friend had destroyed her life with lies. If you discover someone is gossiping about you, cut them off immediately. Don't give them a second chance. Don't believe their excuses. People who gossip about you don't respect you and they mean you harm. Remove them from your life completely. But gossip isn't always obvious. Sometimes the harm is more subtle. That's where sign number 4 comes in. Sign number 4, your intuition tells you something is off. The fourth sign someone means you harm is when your intuition keeps warning you that something is off about this person, even if you can't explain why. You get a bad feeling around them. Something in your gut tells you not to trust them. You feel uncomfortable or drained after spending time with them. You can't point to anything specific, but something feels wrong. Your body tenses up when they're near. You don't feel safe sharing personal things with them even though they seem friendly. This is your spiritual alarm system trying to protect you. Your intuition can sense things your logical mind can't see. It picks up on energy, micro-expressions, tone of voice, and subtle behavioral cues that reveal someone's true intentions. When your intuition warns you about someone, listen. Here are specific signs your intuition is warning you. You feel uncomfortable around this person even though they haven't done anything obviously wrong. You get a sinking feeling in your stomach when you see their name on your phone. You don't want to share good news with them even though they ask. You feel the need to guard your words carefully around them. You feel drained or exhausted after spending time with them. You have negative dreams or thoughts about them. You keep questioning their motives even though they seem nice. You feel relief when plans with them get cancelled. Animals or children react negatively to them. Most people ignore their intuition because they think it's not logical or reasonable. They tell themselves, this person has been nice to me. I have no proof they're bad. I'm probably just being paranoid. So they override their gut feeling and continue trusting someone they shouldn't. But here's the truth. Your intuition is never wrong. It might not be able to explain exactly what's wrong in words your mind understands, but it knows. Your soul, your energy body, your subconscious mind, they're all picking up on danger signals that your conscious mind is missing or rationalizing away. In spiritual terms, your intuition is connected to your higher self and your spiritual guides. When you get a bad feeling about someone, that's your guides warning you. That's divine protection trying to keep you safe. Ignoring your intuition is like ignoring a fire alarm. Just because you can't see the fire doesn't mean it's not there. Science is now backing this up too. Studies show that humans can sense danger on a subconscious level before the conscious mind realizes it. We pick up on micro-expressions that flash across someone's face for a fraction of a second. We read body language and energy without knowing we're doing it. That information triggers our gut feelings. Many people have told me stories like this. I knew something was off about that person from day one. I felt it. But I ignored it because I had no proof. Then months or years later, I discovered they were betraying me the whole time. I wish I had trusted my gut. Don't be that person. Don't wait for proof. If your intuition is warning you about someone, create distance. You don't need evidence to protect yourself. You don't owe anyone access to your life just because they haven't done anything obviously wrong yet. I knew a man who hired someone for his business. From the first interview, he felt uncomfortable around this person. He couldn't explain why. The guy's resume was great. He said all the right things. But something felt off. The man ignored his intuition and hired him anyway. 6 months later, he discovered this employee was stealing from the company and had been badmouthing him to clients. His intuition had been trying to warn him from the beginning. Your intuition is your superpower. It's your direct line to spiritual wisdom. When it tells you someone means you harm, believe it. You'll never regret trusting your gut, but you'll often regret ignoring it. Now we're ready for sign number 5. This is the most dangerous one because it reveals the most skilled and dangerous type of harmful person. Sign number 5, they play the victim while attacking you. The fifth and most dangerous sign someone means you harm is when they play the victim while they're actually the one attacking you. This is the most manipulative tactic. This person hurts you, then acts like they're the one being hurt. They attack you, then cry about how you attack them. They create problems, then blame you for those problems. They flip every situation to make themselves look innocent and you look guilty. This is extremely dangerous because it makes you doubt your own reality. It makes you question whether you're the problem. It makes other people believe they're the victim when they're actually the villain. And it allows them to keep hurting you while maintaining their innocent image. Here are specific signs this is happening. When you confront them about hurting you, they immediately turn it around and claim you hurt them. They cry, get emotional, or act devastated when you set boundaries. They tell others that you're the one who's mean, crazy, or problematic while hiding what they did to you. They never take responsibility for their actions. Everything is always someone else's fault. They use phrases like, after everything I've done for you, or, I can't believe you would treat me this way, when you stand up to them. They make you feel guilty for protecting yourself. They gather other people to validate their victim story and attack you on their behalf. They have a history of burning bridges and having drama with lots of people, and according to them, they're always the victim. This type of person is often a narcissist or has strong narcissistic traits. They live in a reality where they're always right and always wronged. They genuinely believe their own lies. And they're very skilled at getting others to believe them too. The danger of the professional victim is that they weaponize empathy. Good people want to help victims. So when this person plays victim, empathetic people rush to support them, not realizing they're supporting an abuser and abandoning the real victim. Let me give you an example. Someone spreads vicious rumors about you. When you confront them and stop speaking to them, they run to everyone saying, I don't know what I did wrong. They just cut me off for no reason. I'm so hurt. Everyone feels bad for them. You look like the bad guy. Meanwhile, they never mention the rumors they spread. They never take responsibility. They just play victim and collect sympathy. This pattern repeats in all their relationships. They hurt people, then act shocked and wounded when those people distance themselves. They create drama, then act like drama follows them for mysterious reasons. They abuse people, then claim they're the ones being abused. These people are extremely dangerous because they're hard to expose. If you call them out, they use that as proof that you're attacking them. If you defend yourself, they use your words against you. If you cut them off, they tell everyone you abandoned them. You can't win with a professional victim. The only solution is to completely remove them from your life and don't look back. The Bible talks about people like this. It says they're wolves in sheep's clothing. They look innocent and helpless like sheep, but they're actually predators. Ancient wisdom warns about people who present themselves as victims while secretly being victimizers. If you have someone like this in your life, you need to understand something crucial. They will never change. They will never admit fault. They will never stop playing victim. No amount of explanation, confrontation, or patience will fix this. These people have personality disorders or deeply ingrained patterns that aren't going to change because you're nice to them. The only way to deal with a professional victim is to walk away and let them play victim to someone else. Don't explain. Don't try to make them understand. Don't try to clear your name to everyone they've poisoned against you. Just leave. The people who matter will eventually see the truth. The ones who don't aren't worth keeping. I knew a woman who was in a friendship with a professional victim. This friend constantly created drama, hurt people's feelings, and started conflicts. But every time, she positioned herself as the victim of circumstances or other people's cruelty. The woman watched this friend burn through dozens of relationships, and in every case, the friend claimed she was the one wronged. Eventually, the friend turned on her too. When she set boundaries, the friend launched a campaign claiming the woman had betrayed and abandoned her after years of friendship. The woman lost mutual friends who believed the victim act. It was painful, but she realized that anyone who believed the lies without hearing her side wasn't a real friend anyway. If someone in your life shows this pattern, especially if you see them do it to others before they do it to you, run. These people destroy lives, and they feel no remorse because in their mind, they're always the innocent victim. What to do when you spot these signs? Now that you know the 5 signs, let me tell you exactly what to do when you recognize someone who means you harm. Step 1. Trust what you see. First, trust what you've observed. Don't second-guess yourself. Don't make excuses for them. If someone is showing these signs, believe the signs. Your perception is valid. You're not being paranoid or judgmental. You're being wise. Step 2. Stop sharing personal information. Immediately stop sharing personal information with this person. Don't tell them your plans. Don't share your struggles. Don't give them updates about your life. Put them on an information diet. They only get surface-level, generic information from now on. Step 3. Create distance. Start creating distance between you and this person. Don't make a big announcement. Just slowly pull back. Be less available. Take longer to respond to messages. Decline invitations. Reduce contact gradually. If they ask what's wrong, give vague answers like, "I've been busy," or "I'm dealing with some personal things." Step 4. Protect your reputation. If this person has been gossiping about you, do some damage control. Talk to people you trust and let them know the truth. Don't badmouth the harmful person, that makes you look as bad as them. Just calmly state facts if needed. But mostly, let your actions speak louder than their words. People who know you will see the truth eventually. Step 5. Cut them off completely if necessary. If the person is extremely toxic or has seriously harmed you, cut them off completely. Block them on everything. Delete their number. Make it clear you're done. You don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them closure. You just owe yourself protection. Some people will say this is too harsh. They'll say you should give people chances. They'll say maybe you misunderstood. Don't listen to those people. They either haven't been burned by a toxic person yet, or they're toxic themselves and don't like the idea of people setting boundaries. Step 6. Cleanse your energy. After removing a harmful person from your life, do a spiritual cleansing. Take a salt bath and pray for all their negative energy to be removed from your life. Sage your home. Cut energetic cords between you and them. Ask your higher power to protect you from any continued attacks from them. Step 7. Learn the lesson. Finally, reflect on what allowed this person into your life. Were you ignoring red flags? Were you too trusting? Were you lonely or desperate for friendship? Figure out what made you vulnerable so you don't repeat the pattern. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about learning and growing stronger. Remember, not everyone deserves access to you. You're not required to keep harmful people in your life just because they're family, you have history with them, or they haven't done anything obviously terrible. You have the right to remove anyone who makes you feel unsafe, drained, or uncomfortable. Your peace is more important than anyone's feelings. Let me give you some final tips to protect yourself from people who mean you harm. Trust slowly. Don't trust people immediately just because they seem nice. Trust is earned over time through consistent, trustworthy behavior. Make people prove themselves before you let them into your inner circle. Watch what they do, not what they say. People who mean you harm often say all the right things. But their actions don't match their words. Pay attention to behavior patterns over time. Actions reveal truth. Words can be lies. Keep your circle small. You don't need a lot of friends. You need a few good ones. Quality over quantity. A small circle of genuine people is infinitely better than a large circle of fake ones. Protect your energy. Your energy is your most valuable resource. Don't waste it on people who drain you. Don't invest in people who don't invest back. Be selfish with your peace and your time. Pray for discernment. Ask your higher power to help you see people clearly. Pray for the ability to recognize fake people and harmful intentions. Ask for wisdom and protection. Spiritual discernment is a gift that can be developed through prayer and practice. Don't feel guilty for protecting yourself. Finally, don't feel guilty for cutting off people who harm you. Some people will try to make you feel bad for setting boundaries or protecting yourself. Ignore them. You have the right to choose who gets access to your life. You're not being mean. You're being wise. Not everyone who leaves your life is a loss. Sometimes removing toxic people is the biggest blessing you can give yourself. You now know the 5 signs to spot someone who means you harm. They're overly interested in your business. They can't genuinely celebrate your wins. They gossip about you behind your back. Your intuition warns you something is off. And they play the victim while attacking you. If you recognize someone in your life showing these signs, take action. Protect yourself. Create distance. Don't wait until they've destroyed your life to finally listen to the warnings. Be wise, not nice. Your peace and safety matter more than keeping toxic people comfortable. If this video opened your eyes, please like it and subscribe to this channel. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Sometimes one video can help someone finally recognize and remove a dangerous person from their life. Remember, not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. Some people are enemies in disguise. But now you know how to spot them. Use this knowledge to protect yourself and build a circle of genuine, trustworthy people who actually want the best for you. Until next time, stay protected, stay wise, and trust your intuition.